Okay. Somebody said no jumper canceled the news. What happened now? I'll get to the no jumper Reddit.
Okay, so I have a pretty huge announcement, and I'm doing it on Snapchat. So anybody who's thinking about ripping this and putting it on any other platform, don't even think about it. Anyway, Snapchat exclusive.
And Big Act exclusive.
I'm making some very big changes in terms of no jumper. As of today, or as of
Wait, is this like trolling? Is he trolling or is this like April Fool's? What day is today? Today's the 21st.
tomorrow, the news, no jumper news, it's over. The Monday show, the Wednesday show, and the Thursday show also are over. I've decided that I really want to focus no jumper. So I will be continuing to do the Tuesday show with Lush and Brick Baby. I will continue to do as many interviews as possible. I'm going to have other people on the platform
Wait, did he fire everybody?
continuing to do interviews. Everybody from, Almighty, Sharp, Brick. I just talked to all these guys, Flacco. We're still going to work together on doing interviews and, doing like repeat guest type interviews where I, have people on multiple times to talk about different things that are going on in the news, everything like that. But this decision has really been brought on primarily, I guess, as a business decision. And I say that to say I've been talking to my business manager a lot over the course of the past few weeks, taking a real deep dive into how the channel is doing, how much content we're creating, and taking a look at like what the true cost of creating stuff like the news is. And have basically just come to the conclusion that it makes more sense for No Jumper to produce less content and be a little bit more focused with a smaller team.
Adam's a little evil genius. He's setting it up again that all these niggas gonna make their own shows again. Then he's gonna get mad again. And then we're gonna get the second reiteration of what's it called? Community and back on Fig. Adam, you do know all the niggas you've given a start is now gonna just step out, right? Like, and also with you cutting their effort, they're gonna see where your ship is going. They're gonna now have to realize the only fool still, let me not say still there. The only fool there that you realize have zero other place to go is like Sharp, because like I think the Sharp Tank as a show, at least at first, could have been something that could have lived anywhere. And then he just turned into the same thing he claimed I owed him money for, a no jumper employee. If I'm these guys, I got to go start building my own shit now. I'm going to be honest.
A smaller number of employees, etc., and to just, be a little bit more focused. I look at a lot of my peers. I look at Vlad. Obviously, Vlad has kind of always been like the OG as far as I'm concerned in terms of this whole YouTube content space. And when I look at Vlad, I think that he kind of does it the smartest way possible, which is like if he wants to have a conversation with somebody, he just calls them in, pays them their rate, and then they do the conversation. He doesn't really have like consistent co-hosts. Obviously, I'm still
okay, and I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up the like our. I don't think really our industry should, because I don't really pay people. To be fair, Vlad is paying some of these guys exorbitant fees because these guys are like really lucrative. Now, I don't know what Adam has looked at on his back end. Brother, you have a bunch of gang niggas up there who are damn near about to die and kill each other every day for something going viral, and it is giving you views. I'm going to just throw out random numbers because I don't want to give out Vlad business either. Or did Vlad tell you how much he pays Boosie? I won't say the number, but he pays the nigga really well. What Vlad pays Boosie for one interview, and obviously it's Boosie, so Boosie gets numbers on everything. And yes, he's going to milk that content for a while. That is enough that, let me think about all these shows that, what Vlad pays for that one interview, I don't think is even more than what Adam would be paying all these guys together. Like, I don't think he's paying them that much, right? You know what I mean? Like, I thought there was a time that Flacco was getting like mad bread. Like, Flacco told me the truth. He was like, nah, nigga. So what I'm saying is that without, because I'm not trying to put people's business all the way on blast. I'm wondering why Adam is saying this, knowing Vlad is paying a pretty penny to the right people. Like, Vlad ain't paying like $300. Vlad is giving some niggas, tens of thousands of dollars. And again, Vlad needs those recurring people, and he'll always have to pay that, right? With Boosie's not doing the free shit. Not with Vlad. They have a contract. Well, if you have these homegrown talent, and I don't know if Adam is making the same mistake he made before, because I thought this was his time to do it right. Bro, just sign these niggas to longer, like, to a 360 situation. My bad. Like, kind of somewhere where, when I mean 360 situation, they all are doing a live stream thing, probably outside of No Jumper, have other shit going on. Have it all come up within the No Jumper umbrella, and stop thinking that it only has to be on a No Jumper. Have them have their own channels and kind of do what an MCN does. That's what I'm thinking. By the way, I'm not saying it like I know how to do this. I actually look at Adam in the space of trying to hire a shit ton of people. I think he knows the best because he's tried it the best, which means he's either gained the most or lost the most, right? But I'm wondering if, like, why not look at it like that? Because, if you had looked at No Jumper like an MCN, and it's kind of like, I'll give you an example. Full Send, salute to Full Send, salute to Nelk. Under Nelk, they have the Full Send podcast. They have Yachty's podcast. Actually, there was even talks they wanted me to do a podcast. You get what I'm saying? Like, they have other so like they're having a podcast network, but not everything has to be under the Full Sell brand. Or they have Steiny having a podcast too. You get what I'm saying? So it's like maybe they could look at no Jumper like that. Anyway, let me just keep listening to what he says.
Still gonna have consistent co-hosts. I'm still gonna do the Tuesday show with Brick and Lush because I still enjoy building that camaraderie.
Lush is back there. I thought Lush got fired
and everything like that, but as far as like just trying to pump out so much content and doing 2 hours of the news every day and 2 hours every night, even like someone like Brick, I just had the conversation with Brick about the No Statement show on Wednesday, and like he totally gets it. And if anything, he was kind of like, bro, I didn't really feel like I was ready to do my own podcast in the first place. I just took it on because you suggested it, you believed in me. And like honestly, all these guys, from Almighty to Flacco to Sharp to Brick, I've seen all these guys grow a shitload as the years have gone by doing content on the channel. And like, somebody like Almighty, I was just gassing him up. I'll say it here too because I believe it was just that I've seen him grow a lot as an interviewer. Okay, I got cut off there. Anyway, I was just saying all about Almighty is that, he's somebody who I've seen grow a shitload as a interviewer and content creator, and he has like an amazing ear / just like
okay, maybe that's what, I don't know. So I just checked the numbers of like No Jumper. Bro, they put out so much content, and I've always see like things go kind of not really viral, but like it's making waves in the No Jumper verse a little bit. I thought they were doing like fucking amazing, right? But I could imagine, like the numbers. And how many people does Adam hire? Like, he probably got too many people on camera. You know what I think this is? Adam probably, I don't know what type of hiring practice they have. I think it's kind of like you could just walk on, like you could just be at Adam's warehouse and walk on camera. And if the people like you a little bit, you just stay on camera. Because like random niggas, I'll see like a random nigga just like accidentally walk in frame and then he never leaves. I'm like, wait, who is this nigga? I think he just got to narrow it down, bro. Just narrow it down. Tell some of these niggas to leave. Adam, do I got to tell these? Nah, I ain't going to tell these gang members none of you, bro.
It's like A&R mindset for new talent. He's paying attention on a level that I really look up to. And I need people around me like him and Remo, et cetera, to like really help keep me tapped in with exactly.
Also, Adam, this ain't fair. In the last couple weeks, if y'all were saying y'all were looking at numbers this and third, this ain't y'all time right now. Hip hop conversations, y'all numbers gonna go down. They only come to me and Joe Budden. I'm sorry. Like, we took all the views. I'm sorry. All right? We're done with that. We're back on Diddy and we're back to fuckery time. This is time, usually summertime, niggas start getting shot, beefs are happening, gang banging is gonna be at an all-time high. This is where your numbers finna go up. You can't fire them before gang banging season. No, hell no. Adam, the only reason why like y'all numbers probably was a little bit tame, and not say because it's still no jumper, is because it's hip hop shit, man. Like nigga, yo, I looked on my fucking YouTube thing, nigga. At one point, it said we did 6 million views in 48 hours. You don't see them on Social Blade because we private all our videos. I was like, fuck, I'm getting all the views. Thank you. But that was during Drake and Kendrick. We care about Rappity Rap. That time is over, bro. You feel me? Now it's time for what up, cuz? On 6. So that's the time right now, bro. Like, you gotta let these niggas live. A good squabble will get the numbers right back up.
What's going on in the culture and everything like that. So this has nothing to do with me being, against any of the hosts on the channel. If anything, I just had the conversation with all of them, and they all took it in stride and understood where I was coming from and realized that, it's just a straight business decision. So this is a big development. I look at like a lot of people, my peers in the space, and I look at myself and I'm like, damn, I spent the last however many years trying to really build.
Somebody said getting fired before gang season really hit its peak is crazy. Yeah.
No Jumper up as like a network where we could be producing a huge amount of content. And then just over the last couple of weeks from just having these conversations, I just realized this isn't really what I want to spend the next 10 years of my life doing in terms of trying to create
I've heard Adam say this 5 times, bro. I feel like Adam eventually gonna tell, I want to spend the next 10 years of my life fucking bitches, man, like porn. Because he did say this before, and he kind of angled to like more of these conversations about social issues, more of like, have people like Destiny, and obviously people didn't like the direction when he was like talking to like some Richard Spencer and shit like that. But it looked like he was saying he was having more riveting conversation there. And then he didn't go there. Then he hired a bunch of gangbangers. You know what I mean? And nothing wrong with them, because I think that the DW dude is great. Obviously, Whack 100 is a fucking star. Who else? Brick Baby, even though I just want that nigga to clear his nostrils one time. Like, to stop acting like he's keeping in smoke. He's not bad either. Like, he's gotten better. Let me just say that. He's gotten better. Sharp, I've always liked Sharp. No, not Sharp. My bad. I'm saying the wrong thing. I've always liked Almighty. I think Almighty's mad underrated, which, by the way, I never commented on. But Almighty and Adam in that hip hop conversation, I had Almighty back the whole time. Like, Almighty made sense, but I think Adam was. It's crazy that what Adam's point, which he had a very valid point too, is the same point that Vlad made when Vlad reported Shorty for saying he can't comment on hip hop, right? Like, Vlad is probably thinking, nigga, I'm like the go to this hip hop media shit. I can't comment on hip hop. That wasn't necessarily the conversation that should have been had. And of course, Vlad and Adam could comment on hip hop. But in terms of Almighty and Adam, yeah, the nigga was explaining that when you grew up in a place of hip hop, you have a different cultural perspective that is sometimes more valuable than even someone who has interviewed a million people who are hip hop artists. Yeah, and that's actually true. You know what I mean? Like, again, even though I find myself as one of the people who absolutely love hip hop, who's a fucking fanatic and whatever, somebody who fucking, at the end of the day, I came here like 10 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't witness, like, yeah, I was born before the Jay-Z and Nas thing, and even like Biggie and Pac, but I wasn't here for that. That wasn't even the culture that I was in at the time. And I think that's what Almighty was trying to tell him. He was like, bro, you were kind of in a different culture at that point, so I do have a perspective. But I think Adam felt like he was, anyway, I'm talking about some shit I probably don't even know about. Anyway.
Another at the end of the day, or another disconnected, if that counts, or whatever. It's like all that shit is dope, and it definitely has helped, get us more views / make the fans interested. But the truth is that the soap opera that comes with doing No Jumper News and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't benefit us that much. It certainly is like something to talk about for a lot of people, but like getting a bunch of clips up in the Reddit and shit doesn't really like do that much for us as a business. And really, when I look at my life as a 40-year-old man, it's like I want to.
That is true too. Hey, by the way, Flaco Cita. Hey, I hope you're listening to this message. This is the message from Adam saying it's cute that you go home and go do the videos about what happened at work that's drama filled, but so I keep telling Adam, just sign these niggas, man. Because Adam wouldn't give a fuck if everybody was eating off the drama there, as long as his pocket was getting 30%, 40%, 50-50. Yo, if you talk about anything that happened in No Jumper, nigga, I get half, nigga.
Primarily be putting my time into things that are going to, be more productive. Even like this right here, talking on Snapchat. Like, I hate to break it to you, but sometimes when I look at how much I made on Snapchat for the day, I'm like, why is YouTube my focal point? Why am I looking at my YouTube analytics multiple times a day when I got this Snapchat shit going absolutely fucking crazy? I don't know. There's a lot of things I want to do in my life. And it's like, if I am just putting out a handful of podcasts per week and then doing the No Jumper Show once per week, having some of these other guys do interviews on my behalf, like, that's good enough for me. I don't need to be producing 5 hours of content per week in order to view No Jumper as a success. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are going to probably try to frame this as me giving up or me being, totally fed up with some of the hoes or some bullshit like that. That's not really the case. It's just a case of me wanting to sort of reprioritize and take a step back from producing like a huge amount of content.
I'll give credit to Adam, he does, but I feel like it's because he liked it. Because I remember he was talking about, he said he liked interviewing niggas who nobody gave a fuck about but him. And I was just like, nigga, are you serious? like he was just saying, yeah, I don't mind if some shit got that I did a 3-hour interview, got like 10,000 views. And I'm like, because he's like, oh, I had a good time doing the conversation. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit different.
So, yeah. Hopefully you guys get it. Hopefully people won't go too crazy with spinning like weird narratives and implying that I said things in the... Okay, keep getting cut off. There's like no way in Snapchat to tell when you're going to get cut off unless you want to like have my own peace of mind as well as my own, ideas of what I want to be doing with the rest of my life. And I look at somebody who's my peer, like Sean Cotton. We don't need to make it about Vlad every time, but I look at Sean Cotton and Say Cheese. Say Cheese, very popular channel, popular business. If you ask anybody who knows about what's going on in rap, they'll tell you like Say Cheese is up there near the top of the pile in terms of just creating content that shifts the culture and everything. But, I look at his channel and I'm like, this motherfucker Sean putting out like one podcast a week, maybe two. Like sometimes he'll put out podcasts like every 2 weeks, whatever, which is, that's dope. Like, you don't need to put out like a gigantic amount of...
No, I agree. And this is the thing I've realized, but me and Adam, I guess whenever we do a pod, we'll talk about it. This kind of goes counter to what he kind of built the culture of No Jumper to be, which is kind of like, yo, I'm going to drop 20 videos a day, right? Like, that's kind of been the thing. Like, everybody knows on a YouTube algorithm perspective, when you start spamming videos, like YouTube realizes this one channel gives us 20 videos a day. We're not even going to put 80% of them in the algorithm. Let's just put the 20% up that actually does something, which almost like defeats the purpose. Look at like the Abba and Preaches, anybody else, bro. They put out 1 or 2 videos a day. Dropping 20 videos a day, maybe it's good for a clips channel, where like people know the intended purpose of that channel is to just farm as much clips as possible. But when you have your network just like flooding people, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like, yo, what the fuck? You get what I'm saying? Maybe that one is.
Content in order to be successful, right? So I think for me, from a business perspective, it just makes sense to make a little bit less content and focus on other areas of the business that are a little bit more profitable, that might have longer legs and everything like that.
This is also one thing I'm confused about by No Jumper's like profit margins. It's like, the reason why these moves always confuse me is that, number one, if I'm Adam, I'm a white man in hip hop. I'm someone who has a platform that is rooted in hip hop or hip hop adjacent or whatever. But it's definitely, it affects culture. I don't think not everything I've ever done is straight profit loss. Like, okay, how much am I profiting from it? Like even with and obviously, well, Troy, I went to jail. We're about to try to like start up, maybe do 2-3 shows again. But like for me, I'm looking at it like I have to lose. I'm probably gonna lose money in probably the hopes of building the brand to make money later on. You know what I mean? It's almost like you can't even do some of these things unless you got like a 2-3 year plan where you're gonna be committed all the way. You can't be like, yo, all right, I'm gonna put some money into it for like 3 months, and if it doesn't make money, right? Like I'm just done. So, and I would think Adam like would also appreciate like having other, especially black personalities, especially ones that are strong. That's why I thought T-Rail and AD were good. That are good, almost like either A mics or B mics on the platform, gives more credibility to No Jumper as a platform in terms of black culture. Because no matter what, the thing they always throw Vlad under the bus for is like, yo, it's a white, like they hate, like the culture hates when they have to then listen to the person who has the white face representing the brand. And if I'm Adam, I would be like, I would probably almost, I own the shit, but I almost try to prop up one of my people to make it seem like, okay, look how TMZ does it. It ain't by design that TMZ always have, it was Harvey Levin, then he said, bring the black guy over here. And they're both kind of like the face. Who really owns it or the CEO or whatever? It's Harvey, nigga. But he's made the black guy like a pretty prominent face that when it comes to certain cultural things, it doesn't seem like, oh, this is the white platforms. Anyway, I don't know if that made sense.
To me,
so I was saying that in terms of, yes, some of these guys you're hiring, I'm not saying, because I think No Jumper got to the point where any nigga who could like throw some shit up on his hand could get on camera, which is crazy. But you do got to invest in these guys who you have on screen with you. And even if it takes a loss, I think your business model overall, you're up. Like, you're definitely, I'm sorry, you got to take some of your porn money and invest. You're probably up, no, not probably, you're definitely up No Jumper wise across the board. You can't just look at the YouTube analytics as, look at this show, look what they made, look what it takes to produce it. I think you almost got to look at it as an investment for the future. That's what I always thought. I don't know, I could be wrong.
The business model of just taking a bunch of homies and putting them on camera together and just assuming that the fans are going to want to watch, I don't know. It might have made a little bit more sense like mid-pandemic. It might have made a little bit more sense 5 years ago, but it doesn't make that much sense now. And I think you see that with all sides of the media landscape where, like, Complex did Everyday Struggle. Didn't really work out in the long run. They ran into a whole bunch of problems that we don't need to get into, but the hosts asking for more money, the advertisers are hard to get, et cetera, et cetera. They switched from Joe Budden to a different co-host. Didn't really work out the same way. These are all problems that I basically have dealt with too, where it's a hard business to run. And even if it was really cracking, it still would not be that profitable. It still would be a little bit tough to justify, even though obviously like at a certain level, it's good for the overall.
Like if we speak about Complex, I think a hip hop show is just tough, but also I don't think they really ever believed in what the hip hop show could have become. Now, Complex is a weird thing to compare any hip hop media network or channel to, because primarily the most money they make comes from a food show. Hot Ones and Sneaker Shopping are the flagship shows there, and everything else is just to make money for the season. So they're making money from two things that ain't cultural. Like, no disrespect to my man Sean Evans and even my man JLP, but it's just like those things are like, if you look at Hot Ones views, they'll have like 10 million views, but it's like people watching Lana Del Rey just eat fucking hot. Like, that's not even, so again, their main business has never been for that. And again, I think a lot of times when you're building out shows, you're just looking for two that kind of could transcend the network, which obviously Hot Ones and Sneaker Shopping was, clearly.
Brain.
But to get hip-hop centric shows to do it, nah. Like, I think No Jumper would have to put out, like, I don't know, a food show or some shit like that. But like honestly, if they did like a food show on some like Keith Lee shit around LA, I could see that getting bigger than even No Jumper is. Because I told Adam during our last interview, bro, there's a motherfucking ceiling when it comes to hip hop conversations. And these days, there's so many people having it that if you don't have a name, you haven't put in the work, you haven't earned the trust, you know what I mean? Like, some of y'all been watching me for 10 years. You keep watching me off force of habit, off of, this our nigga, like, yo, we have shared jokes. We're almost like family. But like, if you're a new guy doing hip hop conversations, of course you get a platform and a whatever. But it's like, you're not gonna be Joe Rogan, my nigga. And like, even they'll be like, "Ak, you're so popular now." But it's like, yeah, we have. Let me see how many people we have watching us right now. I don't know, probably about like 22,000 or whatever the case is, across all platforms right now, bro. That doesn't even like hit the tip of the iceberg compared to a Joe Rogan or some of these other comedy podcasts get. So there's a ceiling on hip hop conversations. That's why, like, even with the Academy, not to like kind of front my move, like it ain't gonna be just hip hop. It ain't gonna be just hip hop shows. You get what I mean? Like, of course we want hip hop conversation, but shit, man, we might have to, make some shit shake.
But yeah, I know some people will have a hard time comprehending what I'm talking about and everything. It'll definitely be a letdown for some of the people who really thrive on documenting the messiness on the No Jumper platform. But I think overall, this makes sense for me as a businessman, and I feel kind of light and free as a result of making this decision. So you're still going to see me having relationships with all the different hosts on camera to one level or another, but definitely some big changes coming down. No more No Jumper news if you somehow missed.
Well, and again, I don't think this is, he's making primarily a business decision. I think he's trying to take it a little bit differently than he did last time. But here's what inevitably happens. If you were paying a nigga a rate to do a show and you cancel the show, it's like if you always work the Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday shift, and then I cancel 2 of your shifts, and yeah, you still work for me, but yeah, you come in every 2 weeks, nigga, you're gonna start getting a little bit tight, and then you're gonna start doing things that's gonna be indicative of you saying, fuck my job. So, again, yeah, he's making a business decision, but, he has to acknowledge the ramifications of you cutting people's paychecks. Like, some of these niggas rely on that paycheck you're giving them, and now if they can't get it, they're gonna either have to exploit the brand in maybe ways you don't like, or they're gonna have to do other things, which, a lot of times is not going to be incongruent with what you want to see the brand do.
That Monday show, Wednesday show, Thursday show, all moved or all shut down. Tuesday show. Anyway, I keep getting cut off, but you guys get the idea. Okay. Yeah. No Jumper news over. No Jumper has a channel still going strong. You will certainly notice probably like a decrease in overall views, because that's another part of it, is that I've just kind of decided that I don't want to like spend my whole fucking life chasing after views. It's like I'm doing well for myself. I got a nice life for myself. I'm proud of the content that I've been creating and that other people have been creating on my channel. But as far as just like always trying to recapture the view counts that we were getting,
I'm wondering if he's trying to like almost pivot to, which there was a small moment in time, but I think his heart just wasn't in it. The whole wave. He has one of Juice WRLD's first interviews, XXXTentacion, I believe, Lil Pump. Like, there was a whole underground crowd of like really these boutique premiere interviews that he first did, and Adam is always a legend for that, right? And I think what happened, he had a nigga who was on there, I think Hakeem. That dude kind of went on to do the same thing at like Our Generation or some shit like that. And I think he fell back along the lines of doing that. He's like started getting into the gangbanging shit. And I was always wondering, I'm like, shit, I know me particularly, even, I was telling people always be like, yo, I came from the War in Chirac. False. Did I do the War in Chirac? Yes. But the War in Chirac is a demonetized channel. Like YouTube sent me the notice. Hey, that channel, you could keep it, but it was only making like $70 a month. I stopped doing it for, it's almost like about like 8 years or something. But yeah, they demonetized it. Like, bro, YouTube don't want to monetize a bunch of gang content, my nigga. Like that's one of the things I've been watching with like the whole no jumper thing. I'm like, maybe it's a white thing. No, I'm playing. I'm like, could Adam really monetize gangsta lifestyle? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, whether YouTube tells you or not, if you just say crip, the algorithms is gonna flag it and say we don't want to put ads on this. Facts. Blur this out. Beep this out. Drill. Yeah. Take this part out. Okay. Yeah. Like, yeah. They don't like gang conversations. Anytime I used to do like YouTube videos and I even put like a gang type of shit in the title, it would always get like yellow thingy. Bro, they don't want to hear about gangs. Not YouTube. So I always wonder how do you monetize that on a level where you have a gang reality show. I think Adam should take the fuckery to Zeus, because Zeus got people paying $4.99 through the ass. You could get the same fuckery going on there and niggas could pay for the fades. That's my opinion. Anyway, I think he's done.
And during the pandemic and shit, it's just, that's not really what I need to be doing with my life. I got a couple of dope businesses. I got a lot of good stuff. There's other things I want to put time into. For me, a great week on No Jumper is like, we do the Tuesday show. I drop maybe like 5-6 interviews that I've done. Drop probably like a handful of interviews that the other hosts have done. And we good. I think that makes sense for me at this point in my life. So appreciate everybody who watched this. Appreciate all the No Jumper fans. Rogue Game forever. I love you guys. Content will be getting a little bit more focused.
That's actually good. Yo, fans are so like used to content spamming. They're like, oh my God, no, it's the end. No, he's basically saying content's gonna get better for y'all. Anyway, all right, good shit. All right.